Today we're headed to the exclusive French island of St. Barth. And to get there, we're going to do what's considered one of the most dangerous landings in the world. Our day trip to St. Bart's starts here on the French side of St. Martin at the Grand Cul-de-Sac Regional Airport. We purchased 2 tickets on the St. Barth Commuter, which roughly cost us €200 plus tax round trip per person. And this plane is a 9-seater Cessna, so it's going to be one of the smallest planes we've ever been on. Let's head into the airport and head to St. Barth. Welcome to St. Barth's, or shall I say, bienvenue au Saint Barthélemy. 5 years of French, that's all I got. So the plane ride was the coolest plane ride of my life. Highly recommend doing that over the ferry, even if you can only go just one way. It was like an 11-minute ride total, and the views were really awesome. If you sit on the right-hand side, leaving Grand Cul-de-Sac St. Martin, you'll see good views of St. Martin as you're departing, but it's gonna pretty much be ocean. So we'd recommend you sit on the left side if you can, and you'll get those landing views of St. Barth's and all of the yachts in the water. It was a super easy flight and really cool to be in a propeller plane, but I will say, if you look out the front window as you're about to land, you will see for a split second the runway, like you're gonna nosedive right into it. And it was just a split second, but it kind of freaked me out. I was like, whew. So yeah, coolest experience ever. Best plane ride ever. Now we're waiting on our car to be dropped off to us here at the airport, and we rented a Moke, which is an open air vehicle originally designed, I think, as a military vehicle for the British. We've got about 6 hours before we're due back, so we're gonna take you on a loop of the island and show you all of the beaches and things to see on a day trip to St. Barth's. Let's go. Now, this is the $1 million St. Barth's view. And once you land and pick up your car, you will not want to miss coming to the roundabout just outside the airport exit and getting some photos and videos of the plane's landing. There is some paved parallel parking spots just outside the roundabout, right next to a sidewalk at the edge of the bridge. And this is a great spot to stop and kind of get the side view of the plane coming in. And then I would check online to flight tracker websites, and they'll list all of the arrivals because they come quick. And from this angle, you can't really see or hear them coming. So watch the clock, they're usually right on time, and be ready. This is Flamands Beach, located on the northwestern corner of the island. But it is incredibly isolated, so if you're looking to check out a beach where there's no one around, this is definitely a great option. This beach is also home to one of St. Barth's most exclusive resorts, Cheval Blanc. Our next stop is Gustavia, which is the capital city, and as you can see, it's also home to tons of mega yachts docked at the marina. Now, we would definitely recommend coming to Gustavia, finding a place to park, and then just wandering around the streets because there's tons of not only boutiques, but also major luxury shopping brands like Hermes, Dior. We will not be shopping, but we are here for a bit of lunch. So we're gonna head to the Arawak Cafe and have some coffees and some brunch. I am looking for a sugar daddy with a boat. I repeat, I am looking for a sugar daddy with a boat. For lunch, I got the avocado toast, and David got a croissant with eggs and bacon. Tastes like avocado toast, but French. No, it's good. It's got poached eggs, pine nuts, chives. I believe it has like cream cheese or some sort of cheese on it, and lime to top it off. This is Gouverneur Beach, located on the southern side of the island, and Gouverneur is usually very calm and shallow, but today it's a little windy, so the waves are kind of choppy. There's a lot of seaweed coming on in, so I think we're just going to take in the beauty and then move on to the next beach. Oh, bonjour, mon ami. Hello, LaChante. are at Saline Beach, or rather the entrance to Saline Beach. This is a really unique location because you'll drive past these salt flats that I think prior to the 70s were actually used to harvest salt. Since then, the salt flats are just kind of left wild. Now, Saline Beach, it's actually about a 10-minute walk from the parking area by the salt flats. So you're gonna have to walk down this road, and then when you get to Saline Beach, it's very rustic and raw, and it's a great little untouched beach. Welcome to Grand Cul-de-Sac, and this is a really beautiful, calm, shallow beach area. You could honestly wade so far out and it still stays shallow, and I even heard there may be a sandbar kind of out in the distance. Now, we also heard this is a great spot for snorkeling as well as water activities. And there's even a couple really fancy resorts in this area. Specifically, we've got the Rosewood Resort, and I think so far today, because this beach is so calm, we're gonna call this our favorite. We wanted to talk to you about what it's like driving in St. Bart's, and specifically what it's like driving a Moke. We would recommend that you have some international driving experience if you're going to rent a car and drive, or be a confident driver. Driving's easy because it's on the right-hand side of the road, like in North America. However, this is very, very hilly, and there's a lot of hairpin turns. Some of the people on scooters were like weaving in and out. So you need to be a strong driver to drive here. If you're going to drive a Moke, I would definitely say you need to be even stronger of a driver. The one we have is an automatic transmission, but if you're going up a steep hill, which is all the time here, you do need to flip it into manual mode. Doesn't have a clutch, but that's just an extra step that you need to be a strong driver to be able to do. Now, we started out driving automatic and then flipping into manual when we approached hills, but it was really, really challenging and difficult. And David found that just putting it in manual the entire time was way easier. So well, it's not like driving a traditional stick with all of the turns and being open air. I was a little bit nervous, but thankfully David has driven in like 7 countries now, so we were good. we're back at the airport. The day just went by really quick, and unfortunately we didn't get to see everything on our list. So there was a pretty big road closure detour that forced us around the island, and that took up a lot of time. We were going to show you another beach near the airport called St. Jean, and that's also a really great beach if you're coming for a day trip. St. Jean is home to a really famous resort, Eden Rock, and it also has numerous beach clubs like Gypsy and the Instagram famous Nikki Beach. Now for us, tomorrow we're actually taking a ferry to Anguilla, so make sure you subscribe. So we'll see you in Anguilla.